Hi, welcome to the video. In this video, we are going to learn how we can run Jenkins in Docker container. This video is the first part of our DevOps project in which we deploy a Node.js application to our server using Jenkins slave node. So let's start. As we can see here, we have this repository here. I have made it public. It has two important files, Docker file and Docker compose. So these two files are important to run our Jenkins in Docker. So let's come to it. So as we are here in our public repo, through which we are going to create our Jenkins, which will run on Docker. So what I have to do, I have to clone it first. I come to my console here, and what I'm going to do, uh, git clone. By the way, you can find this repository link in the description of this video. So here I have clone it, and its name come here as a directory here, Jenkins. Let's go inside the directory. So here we have two files, Docker files and Docker compose.yaml. So let's investigate first Docker file. What is it inside and how we are going to use it in our this project. So let's get it. So first line for the Docker file is from Jenkins /Jenkins LTS. So long time support image. It's an official Jenkins image that I'm using here to build my own image of Jenkins. First user root, and then after that I'm installing here couple of utilities and assigning Jenkins user as a sudoers right as well. So I have assigned here install sudo, and then after that sudoers users, I have assigned Jenkins user as a sudoers. And first of all, using this user root, I have changed the user mode to root to install these utilities like sudo and assign Jenkins user to sudoers. And then after that, I'm installing telnet and ping utility. Why I'm using it? Because sometime from inside the container I have to do some kind of troubleshooting, some connectivity check through telnet, TCP port check, and then ping to check the accessibility and etc. It is not necessarily, but I did it here because need to do some sort of testing. So I keep it here as a knowledge that you can install anything like this. And finally here I'm installing apt as well. So if anything I want to install apt install something like that, so apt support is as well. And then finally switch back user to Jenkins. So this Jenkins file is here. Once it's static building, it will do each and everything in the image, and then from that image we can run Jenkins. So how we are going to run? We are going using Docker Compose. Let's investigate it. So in Docker Compose, here I have a version which is 3.8 service, and service name is Jenkins. I'm using build instead of using any predefined image, and it has the context dot means this file Docker Compose is it in this directory, right, inside Jenkins. So if I put dot, that means when it try to build, it should be looking a specific file in a current directory. So the Docker file is Docker file. So In a current directory, it is looking for a Docker file. So Docker file is here. After that, it start building this image and then run the container and name this Jenkins underscore container. Port is 8080. So 8080 is from outside, and to the Docker system, it has 8080 actual uh, actual port to a container, and this I'm exposing to outside to accessibility. And then after that, here I have mentioned volumes. Why I have mentioned the volume? Because we are going to install plugin, we are configuring our pipelines over there, and once a container has been restarted, since the Docker container uh, does not store all the configuration settings and everything when we have done into it. Once it's been restarted, all will be vanished and a fresh Docker image and fresh Docker container will be running. In our case, it will be a Jenkins container will be running. So I'm here defining a volume which is a Jenkins underscore Docker, and it's gonna map inside our container, Jenkins container var Jenkins, and then whatever the configuration we are doing, it will be saving into Jenkins underscore Docker. Similarly, I'm here mapping a two file id underscore rsa to var Jenkins homes in FFH folder and pub also. So basically it's a public private key. What we are doing SSH keygen, and whenever we are doing it in our home directory, it is saving a public and private key over there. But in our case, since we are in the containers, so we have to do it. I can also log inside the container and doing it over there, but once our container has been restarted, all the configuration has been gone. So what I'm doing, first I will generate these private public key pair, and then through Docker Compose, it will be copying inside the container. And then after that, here we have environment, Java underscore OPTS, this keyword. And if I set up this, our Jenkins container does not require credentials to log in for the first time. So that is necessary, because if I'm going to install first time, I have to do it. I have to go inside. I have to configure it, and everything should be fine. Everything should be running without any problem. So that is why I'm using it. And then here finally I have a restart. Restart says always. So that means whenever by any chance our container is been crashed, it should be restarted always. And we have mapped our Jenkins, we have mapped our volume. So all the configuration will also be saved. So the syntax is volumes I have defined here. Whatever I have defined here, I have to put a label over here like this. So that's it. Now let's start our container. So as I'm copying these two public private key pairs. So first I have to generate it. Let's generate it. Now these two files has been generated. Earlier it was not there. I did this command and it's been started. So let's check is any container is running. There is no Jenkins container is running. Now I have to run it. So Docker container is start running 5 seconds ago, and it's running on port 8080 as we have defined port 8080 into our configuration. Now it should be accessible on our IP address, system's IP address on which host I'm running Docker. So for that, let's find which IP address has been assigned to my system. So here is the IP. Here we go. This is the IP. Now I'm coming back to our browser. Let's paste it and put the container port here. So here it's been logged into our Jenkins. Welcome to Jenkins, and it's running on our Docker container. So this is the first part of the video. In a later video, in an upcoming video, we are going to configure our Jenkins multi-branch pipelines. We are going to configure uh, slave nodes as well. So configuring a full Node.js project using it. So let's tune, and thanks for watching it.